Well, I guess we're live. What's up, everybody?
Ooh, yeah! The cream rises to the top of the Grand Prix that is Pecco Bandaya. Ooh, yeah!
Okay, so we got
Let's go, everybody!
Macho Man Randy Savage shit, dude.
Yeah, man. Been listening to some Macho Man promo. We need to get this thing rolling,
dude,
man. We need to liven it up a little bit.
You sent me that shit. I was like, you have to do that.
Welcome, everybody, to the Weekend Hangover.
Yes. Oh my
I'm
God, there was
Ricky-Bobby,
I'm
amateur
Dustin.
club racer who's slow as all get out.
Why you gotta talk to me about me like that, bro?
Just
Right?
old.
I'm just old. Yeah, I'm not that slow, but like I'm not fast either. Like I'm okay with it.
Hey, as long as you have fun, that's all that matters, right? Everybody, everybody out there, it's all that matters.
Yeah, I mean,
unless you're a novice.
I'm
for the Thunderdome.
Kind of okay with it. Bicycling is really like taken over for me, so kind of doing that. But holy shit, there was a lot of races over the weekend.
It was awesome, dude.
Dude, MotoAmerica,
MotoGP,
Rookies Cup.
Yep.
So
man, lots to talk about. Lots of great storylines. We got stuff in and outside the paddock.
Dude, the crazy like tire tread finish in Supersport, man.
0.0001.
Yeah. So does anybody in the comments, does anybody have a guess of who our special guest is going to be?
Who's the guest? We got to start doing this more
usually Ricky-Bobby's the one that does the hints, but I had to do the hints this time.
Yeah, because it's your homie, your buddy, good friend, always bragging about.
Oh, shut the fuck up, dude. Like the guy already has a big head anyway, right?
A head full of hair, that is.
He's like making faces in the virtual green room too. Oh man. It's not Cam. It's not Cam Boobies. It's not that. It's not that dude. It's not Jake either. But anyway, so holy shit.
Oh, what? The Prince himself.
Wow, dude. Wow. Bryce Prince. How's it going?
Finally convinced me to come on.
Finally convinced you.
There was a bribe there. I know there was a bribe.
I think this is probably the 10th time we've tried to make this happen, and it's tough.
Well, you have all this free time, Bryce. Like, it's crazy that you have so much free time and you barely were able to squeeze this in.
Yeah, no, thank you guys so much for having me. I'm excited to listen to all the shenanigans you guys are going to talk about.
Listen, no, you're contributing to the shenanigans.
Bryce,
I'll contribute.
You're listening today.
We've known each other. I've known Bryce for a long time. I actually sponsored Bryce when he was like all helmet. Just a little guy.
I need to go. I have my TrackDaz leathers here.
Shut up.
I do. Yes.
Yeah, dude. Like Bryce had some TrackDaz leathers. I even loaned him some body work one time. He got a bike, and the painters take forever, so he ended up with my body work at a Wira weekend, I think.
Oh, that's funny.
And
my first ever 600 I raced was rode was one of Dustin's. What was it, like a 05 or 06 Kawasaki?
06 Cowie, yeah, dude.
Oh,
yep,
wow.
My first ever 600 I ever rode.
The Tommy Hayden special.
I had a bunch of Tommy Hayden parts on it from Joe.
Nice.
Good old boy Joe Lombardo. I've been trying to scumbag Joe to join the show, but I don't know. We'll eventually get that dude on, I'm sure. But yeah. Chunky Bone says I've known Bryce since his prepubescent days, probably. Yeah. That's probably true, dude. Like he was his helmet was bigger than he was.
2000, what, 2004? Probably almost 20 years.
Yeah, dude.
That is 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He had this little like 125 shit, or maybe it was a 125 chassis with an 80 engine in it. I forget, but
yeah, we had an 80 and then an RS 125.
Yep.
I bet that thing ripped.
Yeah, so Bryce has been at it for a while. Veteran in the super sport class, and then took a break so he could open a dealership. He could like grow up for a second and like spend his own money to like live, instead of spending it all to go racing. And how's that working out for you, Bryce?
I mean, well enough to go racing again, I guess. So,
Well, and to
Yeah.
take people with you to go racing. That was the thing.
Yeah.
I noticed you had a couple.
yeah, it's been good. It's been going on a year and a half now. Have a dealership, Kern County Power Sports in Bakersfield.
Auto.
Right there.
Just throw that out there.
Yeah,
Anybody
we carry
needs a Yamaha.
we carry Yamaha, KTM, and Polaris, so that
He
worked
carries
out for us all
Yamaha?
being on Yamahas. Yep,
Oh.
Yamaha.
You got any RC?
Yep. Yeah. So now that's where it's all gone from here. And now we've kind of, after taking a few years off, have jumped back into the racing scene with me and two other riders, Wyatt Ferris and Dion Campbell. And yep.
Yeah,
It's exciting.
I got to see you guys test with the Attack Boys at Podium Club, and I was like, dude, you guys on the stock 1,000 bikes, we're not that far off the Superbike guys' times, right? Except for Bobby's crazy.
Yeah. We're
Bobby's
less
got that
than-
crazy send it time.
Yeah. We're just over a second off the Superbikes at Podium, I think. So it's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Especially that's a few big straightaways there. So
Right. So you're racing your whole team, all you guys are racing the same spec R1M, right?
yeah, myself and Wyatt are on R1M and Dion's on a regular R1, but the specs
bastard
built
step
all
kid. Okay.
So, no, it's just the spare parts are hard when you got to try to find a bunch. R1Ms aren't easy to find, honestly. That's really what it comes down to.
Oh, is that right?
So having three bikes the same and then spares and everything, it's hard to get all that stuff. So
do you have enough spares in your rig for all three bikes, or do you have like enough spares in case one of you has like a big one, or how's that?
yeah,
how do
we
you plan
can
for
we
that?
can put together about including the 3-bit race bikes. I have enough parts to at least build 2 more.
Oh wow!
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
That's awesome.
hopefully we don't ever need them, but yeah. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't spend all that time and money and energy and traveling across the country and not show up with spares. It's just, you can't do it. So
Yeah, especially in MotoAmerica because you got to get that bike out there.
And,
Oh, yeah.
you know, are you guys still participating like any of the local club stuff?
not anymore.
between?
Not once
Okay.
not once the season started. So
Okay.
we pretty much kind of axed everything local to focus on the pro stuff and not put wear and tear on the race bikes and just once everything leaves, but it kind of the truck and trailer just kind of stay over there. So
Oh, really?
Yeah, when you got a park for Brainerd.
right now it actually came back after Barber just from the time we had. So it's
Right.
going to Brainerd and then it's going to Washington and then it'll come back to California and then it'll leave again to do the last few.
Oh man!
Right on.
So yeah, the
you
truck
know,
actually leaves Friday. So
privateer effort, right? Tell us about what your rig is like, because a lot of people think that you need a big semi or the super expensive long.
Well, you're gonna laugh at my comment of what I did today.
What'd you do?
So I currently have a 20-foot box trailer that is it's really well built out though. Like we can fit all of our stuff in there. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's packed and all that stuff, but I recently actually just acquired a 48-foot trailer with a big awning and all that stuff. So that's actually part of the reason why we came back was to go to Brainerd with a little bit more equipment. I just wanted to be more comfortable for all the guys. I mean, we have almost 12 or 13 people that go to the track, including the riders.
Wow.
It takes to do this right and to try to win races and be competitive. You got to be equipped with people, man. It's just how it is. Even then, we're still running around like crazy at Barber. It's just busy, Barber was kind of an anomaly though because we had so many races. I think I did almost 100 race laps at Barber because we did 3 Superbike races and 2 stock 1,000 races. So. Burnt through some tires and gas that weekend for sure. So
are you planning on doing the Superbike Cup every time, or was that?
Yeah. So we'll do the Superbike Cup at least those 5 rounds for sure.
That's awesome. Well, you're all dressed up anyway, right? You might as well.
Yeah, we've been around the idea of doing Ohio and Coda. It kind of just depends on where we're at with everything and to see if we're gonna, because we have a long break between Laguna and then the final round in Jersey. We have those, a month and a half off basically, which is Ohio and Texas. So, that everything will kind of is going to have to go over there at some point anyway. So we're thinking about it, but we're not sure yet.
Wow. That's so impressive, man. Like I wish you the best of luck. Do you have you have something that you would advise somebody that wants to go nationals? Like, you know, you've been in the rig, right? You've been in a full super sport, like almost I guess you would say almost like a satellite effort, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean, the biggest things I can tell people that want to go try to do the pro racing stuff, if they're going to show up there by themselves, like I would have some minimum requirements of you need 2 to 3 people helping you. Whether it's just one hand and 2 people that can work on the bike, you have to have it with just how much time you have, how many tires you have to mount, and all that stuff. And then don't show up unprepared. Don't show up and not be able to purchase a max allotment of tires. I can tell you that'll put you at a huge disadvantage right from the start. If you're not out there putting tires on the bike, it's a big disadvantage in qualifying, and it just kind of funnels down through the rest of the weekend. And hey, I remember that when I first started pro racing back in, when we were doing it in 2010, 11, and 12, and practicing and qualifying on whatever takeoffs somebody was willing to give us, and just trying to, only having to burn us through a set or 2 of tires. And then, you start realizing that, hey, you're still spending almost just as much money and you're not getting the results because you're not putting in the effort. So that's, I would say do less racing and do it better than try to focus on doing. If you want to go out there and do 10 rounds, don't do that. Go out there and do 5 rounds well, and you'll enjoy it a lot more, and it's a lot better experience. I'll tell you that. So
that's funny because
Bryce.
I was bringing that up with a buddy of mine, like, club racing, in the Southeast, we'll see guys that will do 8 races in a day, and it's like, you're doing all these weird oddball races, and then you get burnt out. You're not getting the results. And it's like, dude, you're burning yourself. Just focus on 2 races that you want to do well in, and put all your effort in there. And don't say, oh, well, I'll get the next one, or I'll get the next one. Like, actually make an effort and do it. And that's all I've ever done, and I've never gotten burned out. Like, I'll go race down to Roebling on a Saturday and do my 2 races and then come home. And that's it. I had my fun. I got it done, and I'm not wasting a ton of money, but I'm putting
it's why all the pro teams aren't out there doing track days and club racing, because it's the whole quality over quantity thing, right? It's way more important to have quality time than than the amount of laps done. So
yeah, I mean, Bryce, you did that private test with the Attack Boys. Like, it was just you guys, it was
that's why we did
4 dudes out on the track. That was it. You guys had the track to yourself, get on and off. Like, how important was that?
No, it was good. I mean, the what it turns into is the amount of time you can do in 2 private days is, really like 4 or 5 track days or club racing days of riding, just because you can truly back-to-back changes. You don't have anybody like in your way anytime you're, anything's going on. There's very limited people out there. So it's just you. And what it also does, though, is it really trains your mind to be able to focus on, hey, there's nobody else out there you're going to follow around and carrot off of. You gotta go out there and
figure it out
on your own. And that's something that, can't necessarily be taught. That has to come from experience, and it's not easy. Not everybody can go out there and throw a lap record time and 3 laps on the track. You know what I mean? So, but you have to be able to do that if you're trying to get to that level. So
I call that the switch, turning on the switch.
Dude.
It's go time.
Yeah.
And these guys, I mean, no shit, Bryce. What was it? Like your second, like 3rd or 4th lap, you were 29 already? Right?
No, that's one thing that I developed over my last few years of pro racing. I would say that I was very happy with. I hadn't ridden them at Podium Club in over a year. And my 3rd flying lap was faster than I went, which was the stock 1,000 track record there. So I mean, it's just, you got to be able to get up to speed like that. Quick. That's what all those guys are doing, man. So
and it showed at Barber, right? I mean, you were right there. I mean, you got the Mr. Work Boots himself to contend with, but other than knocking Ben down, but other than that, I mean, you knew that was coming, right? Kind of. Yeah. It happens, right?
It always
guys go for the same inch.
Oh yeah. No, that was a good one. So but we actually, oddly enough, we had I think we battled each other in every single race that weekend, and we had a lot of good racing. I mean, we were both going for the same inch on that track, and I I honestly thought I was going down too, because something caught my leg and kind of started pulling me over. But it's I never in my life would ever intentionally try to do that. But I know I know he wasn't too happy, and we moved on through the weekend and had plenty of good battles the rest of the weekend, and we both rode our butt off, and we had a good weekend. So
yeah, I see some of the comments in already. We'll get to some of those. Chunky Buns waiting to hear me use the word stacker.
Ben's word stacker.
Yeah, Ben's word stacker. I mean, honestly, it's been more stacked. All the classes seem to be more stacked than they've been in years. Do you agree, Bryce?
Oh yeah, I do. It's really interesting. So I see multiple sides of things. Obviously, I have the dealership, and then I have a huge, racing business here in California, and I build a lot of bikes for a lot of club racers. Yeah. And I can tell you that, from a sales perspective, like nationwide, sport bike sales have actually gone up a lot since September.
That's good to hear.
Last year. Yeah, I know. It's surprising, but consistently nationwide, like most of the dealers are seeing 20 to 30% increase in sales in sport bikes, and we have too. Ours is actually closer to 40 since last year. Yeah, which is impressive. Does
it help that everybody knows that you're the shop that builds race bikes too?
Yeah, I mean, some of that's cool, but I honestly wanted to take the credit for that, and I'm like, oh, cool, people actually know who I am. But then I'm like, no, it's the whole nation. Everybody's doing better.
You're like, God
damn it. So they still don't know who I am. So, but
it's the engine builds, the increase in engine builds is when you know.
But there's a lot of people in all the classes. Like, I mean, super sport. I mean, look at the results at MotoAmerica. I mean, look at that stuff. You got top five different manufacturers. Like, how crazy is that? Superbike, awesome. Top four different manufacturers. Like, it's pretty impressive how competitive the series is this year. And yeah, I mean, all the racing stuff has kind of gotten really competitive. I think everybody's anticipating all the crazy swapping going on in GP, and next year in GP is going to be crazy. You got a lot of fast guys leaving Ducati to go to other.
We will get into that one.
We're gonna get into that, dude. Like, let's get into it, dude. Fuck.
Yeah.
The one thing I did notice though at your shop, like, Bobby, you haven't been there, but I've been to Bryce's shop, dude. He's got, like, last time I was there, it's been a minute. But dude, he had like a factory assembly line of different R6 engines in various.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's like boom, 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 boom. Like, he just like has bullets, so he just shipping out everywhere, even to go-karts, right, or whatever, midgets.
Yeah, so we build a lot of micro sprint engines. That's what it is. Yeah. So like last year we did like 150, 160 engines last year. So I have a full-time engine shop at the dealership, and we do a lot of I would say about, I think 90 to 100 of them were micro sprints. The other, 50, 60 of them were
actual
sport bike engines. So, but yeah, so that's kind of been a huge market for us. And in our area, in this area in California, micro sprints are a big deal. So, it's not just the motorcycles, but, we got a good performance shop for a lot of stuff there that we're trying to do. So
the guys in the Southeast use the Gixxer motors because KWS.
Yeah, so it's interesting depending on where you go in the States, right? So like in California, in the microsprint world, if you're not in a Yamaha, you're not on the right thing, and then it's exactly it in the Southeast. Like, you better be on a Suzuki. That's what you need to be on. So
are they 600s? What?
Yeah, 600s.
So it's like a dirt track car. What is that?
Yeah,
basically, yeah, it's an oval car.
Looks like a. It's
the wing car. It's a little dinky wing car.
Okay. Like a sprint car, kind of, but like smaller.
It's a sprint car. It's just tiny. Yeah.
Micro sprint. That's the word, micro.
We used to call them midgets, right? Like, is that
no? So thing? that's a different car. Same style car, just bigger.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. See, I don't know dick about car shit, but
you got sprint, midget, micro.
Yep.
Oh, well, appreciate the education there, Bobby.
I just paid attention. That's all.
I smash a head a lot. Whatever. Anyway.
Oh man.
So lots of BPR Army. Like, if you go to the club races in California, I mean, it's not uncommon. Even when I was like part of the ownership of the race series, dude, like it was like every round, it was like there would be 2 BPR bikes, and then there was like 5 BPR bikes, and then I mean half the amateur open class was BPR R1s. Like what's happened, Bryce? Like how did you do that?
Hey, I mean, lots of man hours, lots of work, and honestly, just operating a good business, just doing well with our customers, and doing our best to be honest with everybody and not take advantage of people, and to provide good quality work, and honestly just win races. I have a lot of guys doing club racing stuff that are out there winning, and that's been a huge development for us. And it's not a team. It's not just a me effort. We've have a lot of people involved in this to make it happen. And it's taken a lot to get it to where it is, and we've chipped away at it really well here in California. There was one CRA race. I think there was 100, and just because I was curious, there was 150 or 160 entries at Buttonwillow, and I think I counted 63 of them were bikes I built. So, yeah.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, there was. I mean, we built a lot of motorcycles for a lot of people, and that's just been our passion, our dream, to be able to give everybody something to exceed their expectations. And everybody loves racing, but everybody wants to win, right? So
right on.
My favorite business model is when you got a group of friends, just build one guy's bike, and the other 7 guys are going to start losing. And there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Wow, that's impressive, Bryce.
It's true. It's true, man. Everybody wants what the next guy has, right? So we've I deliver the same service to everybody, and I'm fair with everybody, and nobody gets shortchanged, and nobody gets everybody.
Dude, you
gets
even built one of my
guys'
guys' bikes. So. I know you built Jimmy's R7 thing, right?
Oh yeah, and his R3. Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right. You built his R3
and the old faithful R3.
Yeah,
so
that's right. Well, you know what? Let's start talking shit about races. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
We did have MotoAmerica. Let's start with that. Let's start with MotoAmerica. Which class do you want to go with, Bobby?
Man, I think we got to talk about our boy Rocco.
Dude, Rocco. Holy shit, Rocco is not so much of a puss in the wet anymore.
No. He got a podium in the wet.
Yeah.
And race 2, kid wins it. Chases down DeMario and nips him at the line. It was,
and DeMario looked like he had the place covered.
Oh yeah, dude,
right?
Kid was rolling, and then Rocco and his post race interview, he's just talking about how he was just chipping away, and then once he kind of got a sniff, man, he just dug in and got it done, man. That was such a rad race. Like I was really stoked for him. You could tell he was absolutely pumped for it, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Crazy. No backflips this time.
Another storyline in that Twins Cup class is the dominating force in the BTR class. Michaela got a bump into the rodeo team, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess she had a little smash to the noodle on Saturday, but
I
guess
I think she crashed out.
Top 10.
Yeah,
right?
she got ninth. She got ninth in the class, man. That was a huge ride for her. Absolutely huge ride for her.
Right on.
Yeah, I'll say I've ridden at that track in that kind of rain. Obviously, I wasn't here this past weekend, but dude, that place does not play with rain. Like,
yeah, dude.
And I know what those guys. I've ridden it a few times on a leader bike in the rain, and oh man, like the amount of tire spin you get going down those straightaways is just freaking nuts. And the hydroplaning, and a lot of that area is really flat, so it's really bad with standing water. Like that, you saw so many crashes this weekend from people going SDKs crash. Everybody's falling down. Bobier's even just Rispoli, like all these guys that just
even with new
going straight.
Yeah,
even
I mean, you look at in the rain with Cam and Jake, right? I mean, you could see them spinning up the tire.
Oh
all through that super fast, like I don't know if you call it the whatever you call that.
The chicane.
The chicane. Holy shit, dude! They're like full gas going through the thing. You could see the rear tire just lighting up on all of them.
Yeah, that back straightaway going into Canada Corner is sketchy on a leader bike in the wet. Honestly, I saw some people actually commenting on Facebook like, I can't believe they let these guys race.
Oh,
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah, I mean, we've all been there to that place in this kind of rain, and it's every time it does that, that's the kind of racing it delivers, man. It's just it's that it's a lot of rain in that track, so that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, the super sport race was kind of crazy in the wet too, right?
Dude, they were all crazy on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, it was wet. Everybody knows it was wet. Watching dudes hit concrete walls wasn't cool, Trevor Watson says.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. But
there was one.
Is that the one that caused the second red flag?
There was one at Turn 5. Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
Was it unprotected? I don't know. Did it not have fence on it?
No, I think it had fencing. It was just really bad weather, and people were just.
Oh yeah, dude, Hayden Gillum on the bagger. Holy shit, that was.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and he tossed
gnarly.
that sucker.
Yeah, I did see that. I did see that actually.
Yeah, I mean, SDK was close in his crash, and then Rispoli cleaned out all the signs on the front straightaway.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, that was such a weird one because it just kicked out, and then he just.
Oh, dude, it was violent too.
Yeah.
The Hayden Gillum one was violent.
Yeah, it was.
But he's Hayden Gillum, right?
I did notice he was not riding the Honda this weekend.
Yeah, he. I think they had some issues,
right?
and he crashed and hurt himself and his leg. And I know he's just trying to focus on the bagger stuff because that's his contract deal with Vance and Hines and those guys, and so
so he had to ride that bike.
Yeah, I know when I was talking to him at Barber, I know he wasn't doing all the Superbike stuff at the rounds that he was doing the bagger stuff at from what he told me. So that was kind of his deal, so they can focus on that. I mean, he's got the number 1 plate, and I know they want it again. So
and he's getting a lot of money.
Yeah, that's
it. So, we talked a little bit about baggers. I mean, I'm kind of over the wet. Let's talk about day 2 because it was
day 2
more
was
exciting.
Awesome. Awesome.
That was probably the best super sport class race I've seen in that class in a long, long time.
So I have a quote. I got a quote from Ed Sullivan, Matt Skoltz's crew chief. They did not equip that bike with nitrous. So I did get confirmation.
Dude, that
is a naturally aspirated motor hurling a 6-foot tall man as fast as that thing could go and was still keeping up with the Ducatis. I was really impressed with the speed of that bike.
Yeah, I actually know where that bike was built. That engine was.
Oh yeah? Where was that?
It was in Huntington Beach at Attack Performance. Yep.
Okay.
Richard rolled up his sleeves, put his, mad scientist coat on, and found some shit for that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, the bike was impressive.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Well, I think it's they were kind of not sure how the fuel would go. So they were in the beginning of the season, they were building them pretty conservatively, and the fuel's not as bad as it used to be, I guess. So they leaned on it a little more. I think that's all.
Yeah, I know that team.
Without getting specific, because I don't know anything, I just know that they found something.
Yeah, I'm sure they have a head from a certain company in Wisconsin, but I'm not certain.
I actually think they don't.
Oh,
they what?
That's right. Yeah.
I think they. Yeah.
You
I
think
don't
what?
know which head. I think I know the new heads supposedly are pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the kit head.
Yeah.
I think they have the kit head.
Yeah, I'm pretty. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
No,
I don't know
think
for
they
sure.
do.
It's all hypothetical, but I've ran that.
Pretty
head,
sure they
and I
have
know
it.
It's good. So
Yeah.
Oh, the one from Wisconsin.
I ran that one too.
Yeah.
No, I've ran the one from overseas.
Oh yeah. Gotcha.
Right.
It's a completely different design. Like the casting's different and everything.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah. That's supposedly that kit. That's supposedly what they're running in World Supersport. So
right. And you know what? Another storyline I've been seeing a lot of those stock 750s having issues. And dude, I ended up talking to.
We've seen a lot of those things blow up between this last round and Barber. I can't believe it.
The fuck.
I mean, I can count at least
talked to
5 or
Colin.
6.
dude, I reached out to Collins's dad and I was like, dude, what the fuck's going on? And I mean, Torrens had like the string of the worst luck ever, right? Like that poor kid. I think he's probably an inside top 10 kind of guy every weekend.
Oh, for sure.
And he's just, spends a lot of the time watching the race.
Yeah, I know. That's such a bummer. And
heartbreaking.
Maxie going out with the electrical problem on Saturday.
Yeah.
But he rode a hell of a race on Sunday.
That guy, I still am like, where the hell did that guy come from? Holy shit. That Maxi Gerardo guy is fast as shit.
Dude, he is. Man. He's tiny.
And you know what, dude? There was a lot of people talking shit about that Top Pro team before it went down. And now what? They're badass, dude. They are not
the whole
fucking
team.
Around.
It's not just one class.
Yeah.
It's all classes.
Yeah, dude. They're in everything. Yeah. Like they have the biggest. Their paddock setup is crazy, man.
They have 2 semis.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, they got plenty of toolboxes.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they got plenty of Boxo toolboxes.
They got 3
Heads
of them.
up.
They got 3 of them.
Bryce, do you have a Boxo toolbox by chance?
I don't actually.
You're Snap
I need to get one.
I can hook you up.
I know a guy, actually.
I know a guy. All right.
Wow. Yeah, they're
I mean,
Dreyer and all those guys.
Yeah,
I think from the industry people. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I think everybody in the industry, when we saw that team coming, everybody was like, they got a lot going on for their first year getting involved in this. You know what I mean? And but man, I mean, I hate to say it, but they've been delivering, man.
I don't hate to say it. I think it's awesome.
No, I do
think
too.
The sport needs that shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
They are not messing around for sure.
No, I mean,
you got some good riders and obviously have some good crew.
Yeah, I mean, when you come into the MotoAmerica and you have some resources to get shit done, you can get some good riders and good crew and put together a healthy program, right? I mean, they're proving it. They're racing in every class successfully. Are they successful in Junior Cup? Well, Avery, right?
So no, Avery's under the Bad Boys banner.
Yeah, Avery's under their own thing in Junior Cup. Him and his sister. Right? Yeah, his sister.
Yeah, and she podiumed on Sunday.
Dude, she was right there until she fell down on the last lap on Sunday. She podiumed on Saturday.
That's right. That's right. Saturday.
Yeah, it's fun to watch, and then obviously super sport class is crazy, I mean, you got was 001, right?
Yeah, 3 zeros. There was 3 zeros.
Yeah. Oh, 3001.
Yeah, okay. It was like as they crossed the line.
It was a tire tread, bro.
It was barely. I mean, they were like, I don't even know what it's because it's.
I mean, honestly, I will say, not just out of curiosity, I was super curious. They really got to have that line precise because if that camera angle was skewed at all, there's no way you would know who won that race.
Nope.
I know I know the pictures from different because everybody was talking all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Like I know the pictures from the other camera, which is not a live feed camera. It's something that they they can actually go back and look at. They have it's like a low res but a higher speed camera that they place at the line that's not actual TV footage.
Right.
And that's what that picture that's
that MyLapse one. Yeah.
Yeah. So
the MyLapse line, the finish line camera, right? But I mean, every camera, the front one, I mean, it was literally like you could see dude's bike in the black square in the front, and the other one, Skoltzy's was just almost to the black square. It was like so close.
I mean, it was ridiculous. It was awesome because it was 3 bikes actually going for it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, right all the way to the end, and the guy in fourth was only 0.3 back.
Yeah,
I mean that's
Maxi
crazy.
was, and then Stefano was right behind him.
Yep.
So
what's been happening with Stefano this year? Like his Cowie doesn't seem to have the beans that it had last season.
Yeah,
I think everybody else will step up their game.
Okay.
I mean, if you look at the lap times, he's going faster than he was last year everywhere.
Okay.
I mean,
that's
it's just the time. I mean, everybody's going faster, right? So
see, that's why we get smart dudes that are in the game to talk shit to us because we
research the lap times.
Morons.
Yeah.
He's like Bryce is like, yeah.
No, I'm in the industry. I pay attention. I always pay attention to all right, trap speeds, lap times, how are they doing compared to last year? you know,
So
I mean,
everybody's
I
just
still build
elevated
bikes for
that
people,
much.
the people in the 600 class too. So I kind of like knowing that. And yeah, that somebody commented saying they had to add weight to Stefano's bike. And I remember they did do that. I just don't remember when it was. I think that was last year.
They've had to do that. I used to pit next to them
balancing,
at the club
right?
races, and they were fitting out the lead weights. I'm trying to figure out where to put it.
Yeah.
In the club races to get a feel for the bike. So
hey, and by the way, Peter Pan is talking about Bobby's talking into a fan.
No, it's not a fan. It's my blue mic, dude. I've got this whole new so okay. Does everybody notice how my camera doesn't look like garbage anymore? Because I actually got a
now it looks more like garbage because you're still in it.
Shut up. Everybody can see my sweet shirt.
Yeah, yeah.
I hate tacos. Said no Juan ever.
No Juan ever.
That's one for you, Trevor.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, that Super Sport finish was insane and awesome. Great for the fans, right? I mean, holy shit! I mean,
that track always draws a huge crowd too.
Yeah,
fan base for sure.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
That Mid Ohio was always insane. Like, I've never seen so many fans at like a local track besides Mid Ohio. That place is nuts.
Think about this year being the first year they're coming back in however.
Oh, I can only imagine how crazy. It's gonna be packed.
You bring the army, dude. Bring the BPR army.
I need to. That track is awesome. That track is a blast. Yeah.
I think the last time on the way to Jersey, right? That's on the way to Jersey.
So when's the last time they raced there? Was it 2012? 13?
Yeah.
It was an AMA race.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was there.
Yeah. I think it was 12 or 13. I think Richard was mentioning that. It was like, I think he was with JD, right?
Josh raced on the R1, so that would have been 13. And then I think that was it.
Right.
Yeah, because I don't remember if the last time we raced there was the time when it got like rain shortened and canceled and they did every single race on Sunday.
I think that was 13. Because Heron was on the R1, if I'm not mistaken.
Here, let me text Greg White. He knows this kind of shit.
Yeah.
Right? Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's that's gonna be exciting. And then Superbike. Let's talk about that, man. Dude. Like, I mean, obviously there was the rain race, but the dry race.
The news about Cam B.
Dude, Bobier, like, man, that's so tough. That guy has like the worst luck ever. You know, like top level guy. He pretty much had everybody covered lap time wise all weekend, and ends up watching. You know, he ends up on the couch again. You know, hopefully he's not out for too long.
Yeah, I was super gutted to hear that, man.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Yamaha guy, but I've been friends with Cam forever. Grew up with him, and yeah, it's sad to see. He, yeah. Dustin and I when you and I were talking earlier, it's like, you know, I do think that he mentioned he had broke a little later than he anticipated to, and and I think that kind of caught him off guard. But it's like, you know, I mean, he didn't need to catch those guys.
He could have kind of taken an easy fourth that day and then just ruined everybody the next day, and then you'd have a pile of points, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It seemed like I don't know. It's like he wants to win so bad.
Yeah.
And I respect that. You know, I respect that. But, you know, I mean, he's trying to win a championship too, right?
Yeah, exactly. And going in with a points lead, and then, you know, and then think about it. Like Jake suffered in race 2 where he finished 6th because
Jake's been suffering all season basically, right?
Yeah.
Like,
so if
fucking arm pump.
Time is for the, you know.
Bryce, have you done that arm pump surgery shit on you, or
me?
Have you had that, or?
Dude, knock on wood, I've never had arm pump in my life.
What?
And I don't plan to. I have this like weird superstition. So like when I train and exercise, I don't do any sort of weightlifting that requires me to like use forearm muscle. To like a buddy of mine that was in sports is the one that kind of taught me this stuff. Like there's a lot of exercises people do that, like, I guess you use your forearm strength. Like if you do curls and other things, people use wrong muscles and create issues. And I'm not saying that's why people get arm pump, but it's part of the reason why, if the, you know, blockage of flow So I think like I had like a little bit of tendonitis in my right arm, and it would have been in like 2018 or 19 for one race. And then after that, I've never had it since. So I'm hoping to, I hope to stay that. But dude, I know people whose careers it's ruined. Like there's no fixing it. You know what I mean? They can't, arm goes, the hand goes numb in 2-3 laps or less. And it's hard. You can't modulate the brakes, so.
Yeah.
And Barber's like, that's one of the hardest tracks in the country, and you're going to get arm pump there for sure.
Everybody was saying Road Atlanta is arm pump city, right?
Yes,
so,
it is.
I mean, that's crazy. Bryce is on mute.
Sorry, my dogs are making a bunch of noise.
It's all right. This is a real show, dude. Like we're not gonna silence the dogs. You can bring the dogs in, dude. Like, but yeah, I mean I talked to Jake, and I know that Jake had some kind of procedure done last week, and Jake's not like super down with talking anything about whether it worked or not. He's gonna show it. Like you're not gonna hear anything from that dude. He doesn't make excuses or complain or anything like that. He's just gonna go out, and if it works, you'll know it works because he's gonna go and do his thing and ruin people again and hurt feelings and crush dreams. Right? That's that's like how So.
I mean, that's definitely not a Yamaha track. It's no strange that the Yamaha is probably the slowest 1,000 out there. Like, right. I hate to say, well, maybe the Suzuki. The Suzuki's probably slower.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was gonna correct you because I Mikey at Buttonwillow did give me his radar gun, right? And I did stand at the end of the drag strip. Because we were doing config 26 that day, and I remember. Like our bikes were not that like within a couple of mile an hour of the Tytler's BMWs, and then the Suzukis were like close to 20 mile an hour down.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah,
that's a big one.
And that was with that was with Tony Elias riding it. Riding it. So
I mean, it just shows, man. Josh was out there by himself in the lead doing. 186 or something like that.
Yeah, he was doing 210s by himself.
The Superbike draft were doing the same speed. So.
Right.
Yeah. There was a lot of drafting going on. That was for sure. And
I mean, it was expected.
Really it was really
expected.
Exciting.
I think as a team, like I know the Attack Boys knew that weekend would be tough, and we got the team got a rain. When I did the social media thing, I did I Love It When It Rains song, right?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I thought that was kind of funny. But we like going into the weekend, I knew that team knew that it was going to be tough to win there just because of what Bryce just said. Yeah. And
Saturday, I thought it was almost going to be a double DNF for a second with those two.
I know, dude. Holy shit!
There was no care there. They were
no team orders there.
Cars going to the straight down the
100%.
Awesome.
And good for Cam. He took it to Jake, and he's like, no, this is my win, right?
Yeah.
I saw somewhere. I think when Jake was saying that he was just laughing the whole time going down the straight away.
Yeah. He knew he was going to get beat.
And like if you know that guy, that he probably was laughing in his helmet, right? So, yeah. Let's see. Ricky has to send us Timu mic back.
It's not a Timu mic. I just don't have something to set it on.
Yeah. Bobby does kind of sound like he's in the shitter, doesn't he?
Do I?
He's like, damn it. He's gonna get all self-conscious about it.
He's like
suck it.
It's like you're like a sports announcer, and they have the mic.
I'm trying.
Yeah, like Howard Cosell. Wow.
I'll be investing in a boom mic for this whole situation.
Well, you know what? I did get a quote from PJ, and he said that the rain race was super intense the whole time, and he said that patience was key to that race the whole time, and he said he was studying. He spent a lot more time studying than attacking. And then he used that study time to attack, and it worked out for him.
I mean, I could see that, to be honest. I think Schultz had more pace than anybody,
Yeah.
I think it was obvious that PJ put in the last few good laps to hang on there. And
yeah,
I don't think he would have been able to pass him in the infield or in the 5 or any of that stuff, because Matty was just so good on the brakes. I think he did exactly what he needed to do, just kind of hang there, and hopefully he could get to the line before him. So
yeah. And then he said in the dry race that he knew it was going to be difficult because he didn't have the power to draft people, so it was all on the brakes or corner speed. He said the Yamaha and the Suzuki were too fast in the straight line against them, which is kind of interesting because the Ducati's like 1,000.
I will say, though, if you look, that this is some more trap speed stuff for you. That's all Flores complained about last year, too, is the bike being slow. It gets off the corner really well, but top speed-wise, it's nothing.
It falls on his face.
It does.
Does it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a twin, and they're limiting the throttle and all that stuff, so it's, it doesn't – the bike really can't get into that power band like it wants to, so.
And he also said he did expect the class to be as stacked as it is. And he says he's going to have to roll up the sleeves for the rest of the season. So that's how it, he's got to go to work. So,
well, I mean, as of right now, I think Gerardo's kind of the one that kind of appeared out of nowhere, right?
That dude could piss in everybody's Cheerios on any given weekend, right?
Yeah. So, I did. To be honest, I never even heard of the guy. I didn't even know who he was, but I did do some Googling, and I realized that I think he's like the Uruguayan Superbike or Super Sport champion for like 5 years in a row. Like he's credible. So.
Oh yeah, the dude's obviously a badass if he can just huck a bike around like he does. Yeah. What series was he in before? Somewhere in Brazil, right? Or Uruguay?
No, he's in Uruguay.
Uruguay. Yeah.
Yep.
And then he does that. What is it, Pan Am shit, like Miami or whatever?
Pan American Superbike.
Yeah.
That's the fast dudes in there.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably one of those spots that Stefano goes in the off season, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. He's all up and down there. Christian Miranda. He's a fast dude.
Right.
Gabriel Da Silva.
Yeah.
He's a Pan Am guy.
Gabe.
So.
Gabe with the it's really funny. Jamie Howe was like calling it Doritos. She's like, "Oh yeah, on the Doritos Honda." I was like, "What, lady?" Crazy.
Well, hey, let's get into some MotoGP.
Yes. Well, do you want to get into Rookies Cup first? You want to save it for last?
We'll save it for last.
We'll save it for last.
Yeah.
Why do they hate on the Rookies Cup, man? We got an alumni.
I know. We got an alumni here.
Yeah. Anyway. All right.
It's true.
Yeah, we'll get to Rookies Cup. MotoGP, man. I mean, obviously Moto2, I would say. I mean, our local guy, right? Like,
yes.
Actually, a guy that Bryce was kind of quasi teammates with.
That's right.
Not a million years ago.
No, on the Stock 600.
On the mean piles, right?
Piles.
Yeah.
The good old days.
The am I getting paid today team, right?
We're gonna use this engine out of this salvage title bike or whatever, right? Yeah, Joe Roberts, man, got his W.
It was awesome, and it was such an awesome performance. I had to credit him for getting his head down, because I know there was some talk about John Hopkins, talking to Joe after Barcelona and his performance at Barcelona and saying, "Listen, Trackhouse, get that out of your brain. We're here to get this thing done. Put your head down." And you could tell with his riding, because they were coming at him. He was leading that race and they were coming at him. And then he fought back and he got it done, dude. That last lap was so sick.
You could tell he wanted it so bad, dude.
Oh,
he just hucked it in there. It was like, later, bro.
It was such a good move too, man. I was like, oh yes. And I was screaming. It was so sick.
What do you think of Joe Roberts' season this year? It's like his season, right, Bryce?
It is. It's funny. Sometimes all it takes is a couple little things, and that people don't realize, like, honestly, Moto2 is probably the most competitive class, like more so than MotoGP, in my opinion. Like, there's a ton of good guys in that. I mean, look at it. Look how good Pedro Acosta is doing in GP from where he came from in Moto2. He wasn't necessarily like dominating every race in that class, and he's at the front on the gas for his first year.
Right.
So, it's interesting because that people don't realize how hard it is. I mean, you know, Bobier going over there, SDK going over there, and there's a lot of things that have to go right. And I think, you know, finally he knows all these tracks. He's familiar with the team, and he's, you know, I think he's extracted that last little bit he had been looking for. You know, he was only ever a half second off or less of winning races, and that's literally all it's taken is those couple tenths from to be competitive and be right there at the front. So
yeah, it's like if you're a couple of tenths off, dude, you're 25th.
Yeah. It adds up, and he. Man, yeah, it's just getting back to the American racing team. Like, he had a couple of years at Italtrans, and it just didn't jive. You know, you think you're going to go into a team where the dude just won the championship, and you're going in there, and you're like, oh, man, I'm going to get this thing done. And then he's nowhere to be found.
I mean, is it like Bryce, do you think it's like a 5-year minimum to, like, learn what it takes if you're that level? Or what do you think?
You know, it's tough because you got all these guys over in Europe, like, you know, all the Spaniards ride all those tracks. Yeah. I mean, they just do. Like, they start
and they ride those bikes.
Yeah.
Well, they're kind of bred for racing over there, right?
They grow up racing those, you know, Moto3, Moto2, those, or I think, what is there, like a Moto4 or something? There's like a smaller one,
it's like pre-Moto3.
Yeah,
ATC,
so I mean,
European Talent Cup, right?
Yep. No, so I mean, you grow up racing on all those tracks, and I think it's different than the US tracks for sure. I think, you know, you have to ride those European tracks a lot differently than you do the US tracks, honestly. You know, there's a lot of them are a lot wider. The surfaces are really smooth. There's a lot more room for error because you can get away with a lot more on those tracks. And, you know, I think it's just experience, right? Like, I think that he's now been to where he's experienced enough at all those tracks and on that bike and with that team that he can now, you know, extract everything out of it that he was missing. And it's hard to say everything out of it because I feel like literally it's that half second or less that he was missing that he's now gotten. I know some people have said, you know, that he's more fond of the Pirelli tires and it gives him better feel. And, you know, there's pros and cons. There are people in that class that have gone backwards on him and people that have gone forwards. And I think, you know, I think that could be some of it too. You know, that's kind of changed it for a lot of people. And or, you know, who knows? He may feel like, hey, you're making or break it here. You got to figure out what you're doing. I mean, what, 4th, 5th year in that class now?
Do you think the title sponsor? Do you think the big money sponsor on their on the side of their bikes has helped with resources?
Maybe. Never know.
Yeah.
So good luck with that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And the tire comment was actually spot on because Tony Arbolino is nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Mark VDS guys are nowhere to be found. And other guys are struggling that were at the front last year. On the
and what's weird, what's the other? Is it the Boscaduro? I don't even remember how to say it.
Boscaduro? Yeah, Boscaduro.
So that chassis seems to be doing way better now.
Way better.
Yeah.
Like they were nowhere last year.
No.
So they had a few races where they did good, but this year they're consistently, you know, at the front, and you know that changes a lot of stuff. So.
Yeah, they had locked out like the podium for the first time since like 2010 or something crazy, and then this was the first time they didn't have. They had one bike on the podium. It was Alonso, and that was it.
Yeah.
So the other two were Calix's. So that was
a hell of a scrap, though, man. It wasn't like he just, you know, it wasn't like everybody else fell down. It wasn't like, you know, he had a dominating lead. It was. Dude, he was in a knife fight all the way to like the last corner, basically, right?
Yeah.
That track's been a good track for him too. I remember even his first year in Moto2, I think that was his best finishing track, and like his fastest time was at that track. So I think you know, everything's clicking, and I mean, all of us from over here want to see him do well, right? I mean, he's kind of running the flagship for the Americans.
Yeah.
So he's
Team America.
Yep. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
It's not easy, you know.
Yeah. Well, if it was, everybody do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then GP. You want to talk GP? Get her done.
Get her done. Yeah. No, GP was insane. Pecco, holy crap, dude!
Yeah, double.
Just did the double. Like he did the double at home. He was really stoked for that, and I think he wanted it, and he wanted to put a statement out there because Jorge, didn't make it through the sprint race.
Jorge chucked it into the scenery in the sprint race, man. That was something I wasn't expecting.
Wild.
What about you, Bryce? What do you think of the GP stuff?
I think it's good. I'm more excited for next year when there's not 25 Ducatis racing for first place, though.
yeah, the Ducati Cup.
I mean, right? I hate to, it is a Ducati Cup, and I'm super pleased to say, I mean, the other manufacturers have done good and, gotten a lot better, except Honda. I don't know what they're doing. But I'm honestly, what impresses me the most is somehow the Yamaha's fast. I don't know how it's as fast as everything else. Like, honestly, I didn't even think it was humanly possible for them to figure it out with that cross-plane engine. But, I mean, they've really, all the Yamaha riders are saying nothing but, the bike's fast enough now. It's not a horsepower that's, we're just trying to get the chassis to work with what we have. And,
right.
I know they're still finishing, 8th, 9th, and 10th and 12th, but in the amount of times and how much closer they are, it's gotten a lot better for sure. So
Alex Rins making Q2 off Friday time.
Yeah, dude.
That's wild.
Honestly, I think the biggest that impressed me is something that I talked shit with Michael Hill last week when he was on the Weekend Hangover. Morbidelli. I was like, holy shit, Morbidelli.
He came out of nowhere the past, 2-3 races now?
Yeah, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like that guy's been sucking balls for a minute. And then all of a sudden he's right there. He's top.
Yeah. He was very good and then started going down that path with Yamaha and just started going downhill and he got hurt. Yep.
Yeah, he got hurt and hasn't been the same for a couple 2-3 years, right?
Wow.
So
yeah.
Petty says he heard me. I doubt it, dude. No, there's we have 7 fans now or 8? I don't know. Yeah.
No, I mean, you can't help appreciate what Marquez is doing too, man. I mean,
dude,
I know he's got a lot of fans and a lot of haters, but that guy's just a freaking animal.
Yeah.
Honestly. So,
I mean, I could see a lot of the drama between, the fans thinking that Martin was going to get the ride and, and then there's the crazy, the crazy Marquez, crazy everything, who's going where, Bastianini isn't slow. He didn't forget how to ride.
No, and it was a 1-2.
Yeah.
It was a 1-2.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
nice.
I mean,
it's impressive.
Yeah, but they're sending him down the road.
Found out he's getting the boot, and there you go. Now he's finishing good. So he's known he hasn't been with. He's known he wasn't going to be with him after this year, but I mean, there's no way they weren't going to pick Marquez. I just don't see it from a monetary standpoint, from a fan base, from a marketing standpoint. He checks every box. You know what I mean? And honestly, I don't think I've listened to a lot of the story of everything he had to go through to get back to where he was with all of his surgeries and everything. And man, I don't care. Nobody's going to try harder than that guy.
No,
he literally wants it more than anybody. And and now he's kind of on a bike that's competitive enough to make it to where he's not falling down every 2 seconds.
Right.
And it's going to be interesting.
I mean, that dude has a big smile on his face. Even when he finished 4th, he still has a big smile on his face.
I'm gonna put this out there, but I really think that there is going to be crazy turmoil at Ducati next year.
I agree.
You think the wall's going back up?
That's why I posted it. I posted it on Track Day Junkies Unleashed yesterday or whatever. That I was trying to get Daniela to put up a meme with build the wall, great big beautiful wall.
Here's what the reality is. Is Marquez good enough, do you think, for you to take Chunky Buns' bet for $500?
Oh, next year or this year?
Next year.
Oh, so here's the thing.
She does the $100 a weekend, $500 for the championship bet.
Yeah.
Against Marquez.
Yeah.
Who does?
So
Chunky Buns, a fan, Daniela. Danny, she's she wins $100 every weekend betting against Marquez, and I guess there's a $500 title one. I think honestly she should bump that shit to 1,000.
Oh, next season, for sure. But here's the thing, like so his ego and his desire to win is so huge that he is going to he's going to mess with Pecco, and it's going to get ugly real fast, and that wall is going to go up, and there's going to be the whole the cross data talking. That's not going to happen, dude. It's going to be.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Pecco's Rossi's in his ear. He's going to be like, no data sharing with that son of a bitch. It's going to seriously. It's going to.
I bet it wouldn't surprise me if you're right. Honestly.
Yeah. I mean,
like they may not announce that or say anything, but I bet you it's not going to happen. That
dude,
right.
The thing is like, I don't think a guy like that who's gone through everything he has, like, I feel like now he's doing it because he wants to and he enjoys it.
Right.
Like he wouldn't have stuck it out to make through all this. He would have just retired. He's won like 8 championships. Like,
he's worth how many millions?
Nobody. You know what I mean? Like, he's literally just doing it because he really wants to do it that badly. So that's going to be hard. That's going to be hard to beat, man. Like, you got a guy who's probably is going to be as mentally strong as anybody because he doesn't care. He's just out there to race. So
it's hard to beat the guy that doesn't give a fuck, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But
like fuck energy.
Yeah, Pecco is smart though. That's going to be a tough one. I mean, you know that it's hard to say, man. They're both world-class athletes. There's multiple people, you know. What about
the rest of the moving around, right? Like Martin
what about Pedro?
Martinez, Pedro Acosta got the bump. I guess
we knew that was coming.
Yeah, like we knew
that was not a surprise.
Spiller was going to get sent down the road, right? I don't know where he's going to end up. Hopefully, he ends up basically on the gas bike, right?
I hope he honestly goes to World Superbike. That dude is bred his personality.
What ride is available in World Superbike for him?
That's the problem. I don't know, but he just needs to be there. He needs to be there.
Yeah, because last year was kind of the juggling year for World Superbike. So I don't know how many of those guys got 2-year deals or 1-year deals, but a lot of people shifted last year. So
he should come to race MotoAmerica, man. I'll probably hire him. Right?
Come live in America.
Oh man, yeah. No, so you got that.
Martin.
Martin going to Aprilia, right? Like
his love song to his boy Aleix.
Yep.
And Aleix brought him into the fold. Him and his, because Aleix is tight with Nav and Jorge, so like he brought him in. I was like, my homies, they're gonna be on the team. They're gonna make it great. Well, they got their fast guy, like mega fast guy now. I mean, like new age fast guy, because Mav's fast, but he's not consistently fast. Whereas Jorge is consistently fast.
Mav turns right back into Captain Qualifier again.
I know.
Shocker. Yeah.
Time to hang it up, dude.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. There's like a whole bunch of Moto2 guys that
excellent test rider. Excellent test rider. He would be probably the bee's knees. That would be the guy. He would be making lots of money as a test rider because Captain Qualifier. Get it.
John Righty says he was not joking. He's actually hoping Jack Miller in MotoAmerica. Yeah, good luck with that, man.
Yeah, that won't happen.
He must be. It'd be nice. He's getting high off that brake cleaner, cleaning that motor for Brendan.
Yeah, he said he was blowing off the tranny. I don't know.
He sent me a picture of the tranny.
I got that picture too. Yeah.
Oh man. Dude. So I don't know, man.
Did Ricky-Bobby say the bee's knees?
I did. What's wrong with that? You got a problem, Trevor?
I don't know, but
sorry, bro. Just not happening, man.
Speaking of Bobby, how did we not talk about Bobby Fong?
I know.
Dude, Bobby Fong is a fucking lunatic. We also didn't talk about K-Dubs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. K-Dubs.
Yeah,
so go ahead, Bryce. Slap us around, dude.
Dude, I don't even know. That guy, Bobby's just, dude, I hats off to him, man. He rode the freaking wheels off that bike. Like, dude, that was an amazing race. Like, I mean, that bike was not up to speed with the BMW, by any stretch, but he rode a smart race, man. He knew what he had to do, and he was trying. You know, I guarantee you, if we asked him, that's probably one of the hardest races he's ever had in his life.
Yeah,
yeah.
And he kind of got a smidge lucky. He got a smidge lucky because SDK's shifter linkage broke.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I don't see him beating him to the line in that situation. Even if SDK would have just hung out behind him, I think the thing with the BMW too is, you know, with the split throttle bodies and the electronics, they have some advantages in going over that. That's the big thing, right? Like the Yamaha's dead even with them until they start cresting that hill at Road America, and then it's like 5 bike lengths all of a sudden. That, you know, for the BMW, even compared to the Ducati, the BMW is so much better over that crest with the electronics. You could just see it, you know, and it's I'm sure it's just the capability of that bike with what it's got. But
you saw Bobby, the front end came up.
No, 100%. I mean, they have, you know, they're on a similar setup to Stamboli and all those guys, so it's not like they don't have good electronics. It's just, you know, at some point you have mechanical limitations of motorcycles with what they come with. So
and you got to be careful too, because with the electronics, you don't want to take away too much because it'll affect you down the straight, right?
Yeah. And I don't know, back in the day, I know Bobby didn't like a lot of TC and a lot of wheelie control. I think by listening to the bike, it sounds like that's changed a little bit, because there's, you know, like when we're at podium, I can hear that thing into the TC everywhere. So,
yeah. Well, that's all that Pirelli shit. I mean, why not use it? You know, then you could just, you know, go right to the stick.
I was at CMP with when Jason Aguilar was riding Freddie's Kawasaki, and he was coming out of the last corner. And it's like, you know, second gear corner, and you just huck it in, and then it's just stand on it, and you can hear him just cutting in and out. Holy shit, man! What's up with that bike? It sounds crazy.
Yeah. So a couple of comments coming in. You know, obviously Peter Pan talking about. The crazy parts of the Germans have figured out the reliability with the power, and it's insane. Lots of homework to do. He's the Honda guy, by the way, everybody.
I will say nobody blows BMW engines blow left and right. Like street bike thousands, they don't have that part figured out, but they got the race bikes figured out. So.
It's their oil warming procedure. That's like they send it out to all the racers, so they have to like warm up the bike in a certain way before it'll.
They have to have the blue oil or whatever, right?
Yeah, warm oil in a $60,000 engine. It better last.
Right. Yeah. And then Tillery says Bobby's been able to put that Yamaha wherever he wants in the corners. It's impressive.
Yeah, it's true, man. He has.
Yeah. You know what he did say? He's keeping a tighter line through the corner, and you know Bobby was able to. Dude, he was like knee in the weeds kind of.
Dude, that pass in the carousel underneath SDK where he caught him by surprise. Ooh.
Yeah, dude. Spicy.
You know, so I have a little bit of insider, not from them, but information on that, because, you know, obviously Wyatt's riding for me this year and on the R1, and he raced the BMW last year, and that's like my question every time is like, all right, so what is the BMW doing better than the R1 and vice versa? And, you know, that was the first thing he said is no matter what, you know, it was really hard to get the BMW to turn under any sort of throttle. So you had to, versus the R1, you could still get back to the gas and keep turning. It's like one of the few thousands that you can really carry that roll speed on the edge of the tire. So, and it shows, you know, Bobby's able to get the thing in there and, you know, just get it. Same with Jake and Cam and all those guys. Like that's where the R1's good. The R1's so good on the edge of the tire when you're trying to roll through a corner. I mean, that's why he could just send it right off underneath SDK in the carousel and carry more corner speed than he can.
Awesome.
So it's just, you know, that's the advantage to that bike, you know? So.
Yeah. And then, back to MotoAmerica baggers. I mean, Kyle Wyman, dude, I sent him a text and I was like, dude, that is the best I've ever seen you ride, brother. Like, well done. And I mean, you could see it on his face. You could see it in his whole fucking attitude. And it ain't just because he's getting a healthy paycheck now. Like he's out there and he earned that win, man. He wanted it so bad. And Herfost is is a lunatic.
Dude, he hucked it in there.
Dude,
He came from
Herfoss is
nowhere.
just, I didn't realize Herfoss rides like that. It's been every weekend. He's crazy.
Oh.
Is that a Pizza Hut cup? No, it's not a Pizza Hut cup, asshole. But you know what? I got him because it
It's
reminded me
close.
of Pizza Hut cup. I mean,
Okay,
I
so it
did
is a
work
Pizza Hut cup.
I got them on Amazon, but yeah, I worked at Pizza Hut in high school. Like, you know, hello.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
That's awesome.
Kyle Wyman, man, and the comment that Troy Herfoss said was the funniest shit ever on the in park for in the
when he
podium
said
area.
he's mad.
Yeah, he's
But
like,
Kyle's
man,
so
he's
happy,
making
I
me
have to be
smile, and
happy."
I'm mad.
That's so good.
Oh
So
man,
good.
that Troy Herfoss
Spoli-
guy, he's fun.
Rispoli came from behind and like picked up Kyle at the end of his the
Yeah,
end of his interview. It was pretty funny, but you could tell that like all the Harley dudes were pumped, and I felt bad for Hayden. His bike was a dog. Holy crap!
Yeah,
they said
so
they put in the motor from last season.
Correct. They had issues with the good engine.
well,
So
the
they
thing
put Old
flipped
Faithful,
upside
and they
down
said-
after it hit the fence, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, happens.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh.
Come with an extra bullet.
You've thrown some bikes down the road, Dustin? Huh?
Yeah, I've thrown some bikes down the road, Bryce. Yes, it happens.
Oh, dude. I
Yeah,
have too. I've
now
been
that
there.
I'm over 40, it's like guaranteed trip to the hospital every time now.
Yeah.
It's like, and needing replacement parts on the body.
That's why I ride a 600.
Okay.
Not trying to kill me.
Yeah, those are safe. Yeah. Wow.
Hey, but then in the 600 class, though, you got to deal with all the lunatics that are trying to go fast.
The axe murderers.
All the
Not in
14
Arma.
and 15-year-old kids and freaking.
Not in Arma. In
Oh, that's
it's
true.
all the
Not
old
in Arma.
guys.
Okay, so now we're getting to the nitty gritty here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Irate
700
Berry
too.
says I probably have a Pizza Hut chandelier.
Oh, dude.
Are you talking shit about me living in Palmdale, bro?
Oh.
Wow.
Well, there are rap songs made about Palmdale.
Yeah,
you got
okay.
some
So the last bit of racing that we should talk about is the Rookies Cup. Bryce is an alum of the Red Bull Cup. And I did get some words from Christian Daniel, and I mean, I'm just gonna like summarize it, but basically, the one of the kids like blew up right in front of him, and he went backwards, but he did learn to drag that second pack up to the front pack, and then it's like he was there for whatever reason. He was like waiting. He was like, "Oh, I could pass these guys," and then that kid's engine blew up, and so he's like, next time I'm just gonna go for it, so. And he also said something about the Pirellis. I was asking him about getting used to the Pirellis, and he's still kind of learning. Wow, I just caught a Trevor Watson comment on out of the corner of my eye. I was just like, wow, bro. No, he's still kind of learning the Pirellis, but he was saying that the front tire is crazy good. Like he says the front, he can put the thing wherever he wants. Pettinger, we're talking about Rookies Cup right now, if that's what you're looking for.
No.
But I don't know.
No.
What are we
talking to me?
Oh, okay. Wow.
Keep
Are
talking.
you talking about wine? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm not talking wine. Keep talking.
Fuck. Anyway, so the kid's going good, and yeah, he likes the fronts in all the specs. And let's see, he's frustrating running in the front group because he realized he could have passed them, and he's going to try next time to be as good as Mugello. And something about a tape puller. I don't know. I guess they got a button or something that pulls the tape off the radiator, and so.
Oh wow!
Like
Yeah.
a tear off or something?
Yeah, like I guess I don't know,
That's
but like
crazy.
I guess
Doesn't
in
get
race
no,
2
it's
he
not a button,
overheated.
It's probably like
It's probably a pull
piece
string,
of
right?
string, and it just rips it off.
Yeah, well, I
Like
guess he
tear
didn't.
off.
I guess he was out battling and he never tore it off, and he overheated the thing. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, day late and $5 short. I don't know what that is. Yeah. Anyway,
Who knows?
so that's the Rookies Cup. I mean, it's pretty exciting. I will say this: there's that, and Bryce, When did you do New Racer School? I forget.
New Racer School?
Yeah. Did you have Danny Farnsworth at Willow?
Did I do one? I don't even know. I don't even
remember. It's like 20 years ago. Well,
literally, yeah. I mean, it had to. I mean, because I first hopped on a 600 back then when I was younger than I should have been. I think I was like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
I
don't even think I weighed 100 pounds. I mean, I was tiny.
You didn't. You were tiny. Yeah.
I was tiny.
Well, one of the things I remember, and the Rookies Cup races, both of them actually had something that kind of made me flash back to Danny Farnsworth. Danny Farnsworth was WSMC's race director and New Racer School guy. And one of the things he really was up our asses about is not weaving to the finish. We don't weave at the finish. We race to the finish. And, I remember Frank Aragaki saying that shit too. Frank is a crew member on the M4 team. Frank was a New Racer School instructor then too. Same thing. Kenny Kopecky, all those guys. And when I see that kid comes out on the first race and he weaved like crazy. And I guess they pulled him aside and had like a talking to. Well, race 2, the kid does it again on the run to the checkered, and it was a fucking melee, dude. It was like bikes everywhere, like Skittles poured out on the ground, right?
Yeah, you can't be doing that stuff.
So, Bryce, what do you think about weaving?
Oh man. I mean, people do it, obviously. Yeah. They have really strict rules though that I forgot how they worded it. They said like going down the straightaway, you're allowed to change your course of direction one time. Right. So if you start scooting over, that's it. You can't go back.
Yeah.
So and I see people do it, and on those bikes, man, I get what they're trying to do, because you could literally win or lose a race by weaving out of the way. Like, I mean, because those bikes they're kind of slow, and they're they're all spec bikes, and there's only so much they can do. But yeah, I mean, you can make it happen. And we actually had people crash when I was doing the Rookies Cup and doing that. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's super common actually. People would hit each other and run each other off the track, or I mean, it's definitely happened.
And gnarly.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely not a fan of it. I can't say I haven't done a little bit of myself.
I do the.
When you want to win, you want to win. So.
I do the buzz the tower thing.
Yeah,
that's my thing.
Oh yeah, Stefano's notorious for busting the wall at road lane when he come up against the.
Yeah. Like in Colorado, I did that 4-hour endurance race at MRA, and like I got the one-way conversation. I was on the receiving end of the one-way conversation from race direction for making their starter jump the wall.
Oh wow!
Because on the run to the checkered, I buzzed the starter, and he was not used. Like, I guess Colorado people don't do that.
Oh yeah. Great to do from California.
Yeah, you Californian, whatever. So. But I guess that keyless kid, I guess he got a one race ban. Like, he's gonna miss the whole weekend. The next
I'm
round.
Not surprised, honestly, man. They need to take that stuff seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, that could have been like life,
100%.
damaging for someone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
John Wrighty says Alex Dumas got DQ'd at Sonoma in 2019 for weaving like that in Twins Cup.
Yeah, I remember that. Like back 2018, 2019, they started cracking down on the weaving stuff like crazy. Like they didn't even care. Like if you were in a group with a couple people and moved left or right 2-3 times, you're just done. They would just DQ you.
Yeah.
Because they were having issues with that. It was getting really bad it was in the Junior Cup, actually. It was getting really bad. So, obviously, like
the slow bike classes.
Well, I mean, you can actually weave on a bike that's only doing 120 mile an hour or less. You got a super bike that's doing 180. You're not weaving. Like you can try to scoot over a little, but you're not going to go left to right because you're going so fast. So,
right. Yeah. So that's where I was, like I said, I had the Danny Farnsworth flashbacks from New Racer School 25 years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
But it sounds like they made the right call. I guess I guess the kid's going to be suspended for that one round, and then hopefully he'll learn his lesson, because the kid seems to be talented. He's been consistently running up front. Yeah, weaving is done in bicycle racing. I don't know. I don't race bicycles. I just ride them.
Dude, that happens like all the time. People get effed up in road bike racing from people weaving and hitting each other.
I mean, I see it somewhat when I would do the Rose Bowl crit Tuesdays and Thursdays. That gets kind of nuts after 6 o'clock. It's like 30 plus mile an hour in a group of like lunatics. And a lot of the lunatics are not actually in the front group. They're the ones that the lunatics I'm thinking of. They're the ones that like can't hang in the group. So they kind of do circles at the top of the Rose Bowl and then jump in. And so there, there's like 50, 60 dudes, just, 5, 6 bicycles wide going 40 plus mile an hour. It's gnarly. Like I try to avoid it because I don't know these people. And I'm watching them and I'm like, okay, that guy, and that guy have no business going this fast. I'm like, nah.
And you're in Lycra and it's.
Yeah. And you're in your underwear, basically. Yeah. You're in your chones.
Doesn't mix well with the asphalt. Yeah, You should do it in your full leathers one time.
Yeah, no. So Bryce, I know it's getting late for you and we're a little bit over. Closing thoughts? Tell us about the shop. Tell us about how business is, what your next ride is. Are you still coaching for champ school? Give us the stuff. Spill it.
Yeah. So no, the shop's good. Last month was a good month for us. We, sales have been great. Work's been good. It's, just like you are, we're into that time where it's getting hot. I think it's supposed to be like 106, 108 the next 2 days here. So that's going to be a little brutal. Summer months are warm, but
turned on the AC today at the house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, we have AC, thank gosh. But no, so we're everything leaves Friday to go to Brainerd, and then that's actually one of the tracks I've never been to. So I've heard it's a very fun track, but that's I'm gonna have to learn the track. So I'm excited to see.
I mean, look, where your home track is, Button Willow, you'll get along with Brainerd just fine.
I hear it's got some good old Willow Springs turn 8 and turn 9s in the first 2 corners.
A little bit of that too.
I'm excited about that. So I definitely that's where I grew up, and I definitely like the fast tracks and the corners and all that stuff. So I've kind of watched some videos and looked at some track maps, and that'll be next on the list. And I actually hadn't even ridden at the Ridge either, but we went and did a track day there like 3 months ago, so I can spend some laps. And I'm glad I did, because I don't know if you guys have ridden at that track, but dude, that track is nuts. Like,
when you pop up over the hill, like, dude, if you're like 3 inches one way or the other, you're like in the weeds.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's
going up over turn 3.
It's blind as can be everywhere.
Yeah.
You have no reference points in almost any corner. So it's a good track. That's a track I imagine is probably a good Yamaha track, to be honest. So not really much straightaway there. Lots of tight corners. It's been 5 years since I've what I would say competed professionally full time. So it's been a lot different. I put all my focus into the business and the development and the growth of all this stuff, and it's been a lot of fun. And I'm happy to be back involved in racing. For me, it's I'm not doing it because I expect anything. I'm doing it because I love it. I'm passionate, and I like motorcycles, and it's fun.
Yeah,
so
dude.
I still feel.
It's not just me. We're all crazy.
Yeah.
So, I think it's awesome.
And obviously I feel like I can still be competitive, and we're trying to grow the team, and that's why I have 3, including myself, 3 very talented riders. I feel all 3 of us are capable of going out there and winning races in stock 1,000, and that's kind of where I want to be at. I want to be able to grow. But this is kind of our entry level step back into pro racing to kind of see if we're going to do this again full time next year. That's kind of where I'm at. Whether I'm racing or I have people racing for me, it's this is kind of we wanted to get our foot back in the door with this. Yeah, well, with this half season, with having stock 1,000 be only 5 rounds, it's been it makes it easier on the budget and the traveling and everything going on. So
if it works out, do you see a future where the BPR team enters Superbike for real?
Probably, yeah.
Oh,
to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah. To be honest, I would just to be honest, with the amount of sponsorship and the money, you kind of have to.
Right.
You know, I mean, a perfect example would be what Ozzie Dave has done.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been able to make it happen, and not just be from just because they're in Superbike, like they actually do good. You know, they have Bobby on the bike now, and Dave back then, he was doing great in Superbike. He was consistently top 10, wasn't falling down a lot. He had good results. Like, you know, he's fast. So, you know, it's a lot of work, man, to put in. People don't realize how much work goes into all this stuff, man. Like, sometimes I question myself. I'm like, you have all the experience and know what it takes to do all this. Why are you doing it again? It's a lot of work. You know what I mean? So, but you know, I'm happy I want to grow the brand, and I'm passionate about the industry. And I think, you know, I mean, I don't see myself racing long-term. I think I may have another season or two in me, and that's probably it. You know, I'm
you're 30 it. What now?
31. I'll be 32 this year.
Yeah.
Crazy. I know.
Young.
Old man.
I mean, I'm getting older, but you know, I still, you know, I wouldn't be racing if I was out there finishing dead last. You know what I mean? I mean, I feel like I'm still capable of winning races on a professional level, and that's why I'm doing it. So,
right on,
you know,
man.
I ultimately, I want to be, you know, myself, Wyatt, and Dion duking it out for the win, and one of these guys beating me. You know, that's kind of the vision of this team, is to be able to grow everything. And I think right now my involvement from riding and helping is just going to expedite things at the track. And that's kind of why we made the decision to do what we're doing. So.
Yeah, because you weren't sure going in that you were going to race, right? Like you were.
I wasn't. You know, I had a really bad shoulder injury last year. I tore my left shoulder extremely bad, and you know, it had been problematic for me last year. Like it was a big deal. I couldn't ride at pace more than 4 or 5 laps. And one day I woke up and decided, hey, you need to get your shit together if you're going to race this year. And I lost like 30 pounds and have been training like crazy. And I showed up to Barber having no idea what I was going to do. And I did 5 races and I wasn't even tired at the end of it. So it's just,
that's awesome.
It's how it worked out. So I'm excited I did it. And, you know, it's been motivating on multiple aspects in my life. You know what I mean? It's nice to go out there and ride motorcycles. And, you know, we have people come into the shop all the time that are super invested in all this stuff. And it's just cool to be a part of it. And, you know,
that's awesome.
It still is a business move for me as well. You know, I'm in a position to actually utilize the exposure we get out of professional racing. And, you know, like I was saying earlier, with how many bikes we've built in California, I mean, I want to be able to target an audience outside of just California and show that, you know, we have competitive motorcycles that we can build for people all over. So that's been the reason of why we've gone back into this. So
that's awesome.
Yep.
Bobby?
Man, it was a great show. It was an awesome weekend of racing. Looking forward to we got Brainerd in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Week and a half. Yeah. So definitely looking forward to that. Got a lot of good racing coming up, man. And we'll see if I think they were talking about Cambobier making it for Laguna.
Right.
So
yeah. So that means he'll miss this round and the Ridge. So
yeah.
Don't tell Richard. That's not true, man. First of all, hey, Trevor, that shit's wrong. Bryce can back me up on this. Like, you know, Bryce, if that shit he said was true, would you have been at the test with us like a few months ago? I don't think so.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, there's no drama, right? Like we're good.
No.
Yeah.
All good.
Yeah. Now if we start seeing attack parts on Bryce's bikes, then we'll know we're really good. Working Yeah. So anyway, Bryce, dude, seriously.
Hey, I mean, I know I don't see it, you know, because I don't know Richard as well. I know Dustin knows more than I do, but I know that him and those guys are just like me and freaking work at the shop 16, 18 hours a day. They're there till 2 a.m. trying to make bikes faster, trying to dyno stuff, trying to build stuff. Like, I mean,
you see the results of it. I mean, and not just Superbike, but like in the case of Skoltz, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that motor.
You know,
ooh, the rocket ship.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean that's it's still probably on the dyno. Bryce probably confirmed that too, but it probably doesn't make like as much horsepower as you think. Probably
No,
still,
I'm sure it doesn't.
yeah, it's still a 600.
Yeah.
Like it
Still in the
they didn't
130s.
cram an R1 engine in there. You
No.
know,
If it made more than 135, I'd be blown away for
Right.
sure. So.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm sure there's some bikes out there making 140, all of that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. 750. What?
Kawasaki.
They blow up though a lot.
Now the Kawasaki's for sure making 140, 100%.
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
no doubt there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So,
know a few of the KWS builds for Stefano, man, they are stout bikes.
oh yeah.
Godin's got that engine down solid.
Well, Bryce, dude, we appreciate you taking your
man,
time.
thank
I know
you so
you got
much.
shit going on. You're probably gonna go back to the shop tonight. No,
No. I'm taking
No?
the night off.
He's
taking the
home.
night off. What?
Yeah.
Date
I'm
night
not-
with the wife?
I'm not
Get outta
taking my
here.
second shift.
All right, all right.
So.
Well, you know what, everybody, I stoked that you guys are all watching this and commenting, and
thank you.
appreciate that. And Bobby, good times as always. I guess we can Hangover 10 episodes we've done now.
dude.
That's
This is
crazy. Appreciate you guys for all that, and share it around and comment and all that, and let's keep this thing going,
thank
man.
you guys for having me.
Yeah.
We got some things in works and trying to add another platform, another video platform.
Yeah, and just a heads up from last week, that T-shirt that Michael Hill was talking about, dude, I ordered them today, so
no worries.
we'll have some TMB weekend Hangover shirts available pretty soon.
Hey,
and,
Gabriel's on.
oh, look at that.
Past your bedtime,
yeah.
Gabriel.
The Doritos writer.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, man. All right, you guys. Well, I think we're
Yeah.
wrapping this up, and
Thanks, everybody.
catch you guys at the next one. Yeah.
See ya.
Thanks, guys.